bread. That magical bread would be worth a lot of money, and the sheriff loved money. The sheriff went to Grandpa Allen's home and offered, then bargained, then threatened Grandpa Allen in order to get a loaf of the bread. And Grandpa Allen refused, saying, "You just don't understand. It won't work for you." Nothing personal, but there is a mathematical principle at work here. The sheriff wouldn't take no for an answer. He pushed past Grandpa Allen, went into the kitchen, and took a loaf of bread and returned to his home as fast as he could. Now the sheriff began cutting the bread, dreaming of the riches that it would bring him. But the bread didn't multiply. Instead, it began dividing into slices and pieces and crumbs. Then the crumbs began dividing again and again until nothing of the bread was left. As Grandpa Allen told everyone who asked, a sound mathematical principle controlled the bread, and it was this: hatred divides, love multiplies. And so now we'll sing you to our classes. Do we have May Your Mind? Oh, thank you.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips speak truth into the world. May your heart go on and your hands to the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
I got this. So now is the time in our service where we invite contributions that help our ministries to grow and thrive. You can pay online at sanjoseuu.org/donate. And if you do it that way, make sure that you indicate in the drop-down what your donation is for. Please give what you can, and remember, if your presence among us is all that you can give today, that is enough. You are enough. Thank you. Oh. Thank you. We pick fruit from trees we did not plant. We drink water from wells we did not dig. This is as it should be, so long as we dig and plant for those who come after us. This church is here because of the offerings of generations who came before us. Thank you.
is our time for joys and sorrows. We come together in community to share with one another, to support one another, and to celebrate one another. As we begin, we know that there are both great sorrows and great joys in the world that must be acknowledged as well. We light our first candle to honor those in pain, victims of violence and war, and oppressed all around the world. We light a second candle because we understand that amidst all of that pain, there is also celebration and joy in our world. We honor that joy and sorrow are woven together. If you have a joy or sorrow you'd like to share, please come forward to light a candle. You may also simply light a candle in silence. This is the time for the tenderness of what is in your heart, not a time for announcements or political speeches, knowing that this is a sacred space and mindful of the diversity of experiences and beliefs among us. And please keep it brief, think headlines, not whole articles. So if you just would like to come around in one line, and Julia will hand you a candle. And for our friends online, please enter your joy or sorrow in the chat, and it will be read at the end.
I'm Frank. I have a candle of joy
you can
for
go ahead
being
and
able to
light
visit
whilst-
my mother-in-law in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Florence is 104 and will be 105 next month, and she's good company.
I thought my mom's going to be 100.
I light this candle in honor of a family friend of ours,
105.
Marianne Graziani Ring, who died just a week ago and is having a funeral mass set in Connecticut
They
today.
light even though
I will miss her. She's been a great family friend.
one of those that I lit was kind of frozen.
I light my candle in extreme joy and relief. The night before Thanksgiving, I accepted a job offer that is going to bring financial stability to my household, which has been missing for almost 2 years. I'm so grateful and thankful.
My name is Ben. I was in Wisconsin for 2 weeks, or for 1 week. I learned how little I knew about cooking and about microwave cooking. I'm also learning about cold by Christ, like earlier this week, shivering.
I am so grateful for family, both chosen and
It's making it too.
I'm Brian, and I'm going to have a medical procedure this Wednesday to help with a swallowing problem I'm having. Then, a week later, my wife and I get to go to San Francisco for 3 days and take care of my granddaughter.
I am Bill. This Thanksgiving, my family decided to have Thanksgiving at Mammoth Lake. Now, even with my phone, I am notorious for getting lost. And it was a 6-hour drive through snow, and I was terrified, and I am so glad I made the trip.
I am Jan. So we were able to have my mom for Thanksgiving at our house, and that was a joy, except she's not doing well. And so that's a sorrow. But the joyful thing is that my daughter-in-law and my oldest son were able to join us, and she has come through a health scare with flying colors.
And so now we'll read the chat. And I'm nearsighted. Let's see. Is there any way you can zoom in the chat?
I think I can read it.
Okay, here.
Let me turn this on. Oh, I'll take that. Am I on? Joy, my son Spencer was home for Thanksgiving and is doing well. He's been living north of Toronto with friends for a few months and has officially left the nest. That's from Amy Lawrenson. And that's it? Good.
So now we have one last candle for all those joys and sorrows which remain unexpressed, and for those outside of our walls who are searching for a place to bring the wholeness of their lives and be received with love. After the service, you can stop by the pastoral care table in Hattie Porter Hall, where you can write in our book of joys and sorrows or talk to our pastoral associate of the week. You can also email pastoralassociates@sanjoseuu.org. Remember that you are not alone. And now we'll hear a musical song meditation from Guitars Alive.
Oh.
Unmute the red mic, please. When I was a boy each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses with the sea and two, Jesus made a water wine. I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen soon. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Why the water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything's here at all. So challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but find out where there isn't one. Holy water was where at best, barely wet my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath, I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, and the second rate hand me down. Now I'm walking with a river and air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. stood, saw a little red-winged bird, shining like a burning bush, singing like a sweet cherry verse. It made me wanna bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holding now. It used to be a world half in, and second grade hand me down. Now I'm walking with a reverend here, 'cause everything is holding now.
Now we've got a recipe for you. It's by Dan Schatz. Unitarian Universalist bread, a recipe, makes unlimited servings. Ingredients:
3 to 5 cups of mixed flour. Your blend may vary depending on the place, the day, the time. Spelt, wheat, white, and rye, corn, rice, quinoa, and chickpea flour all work, as does every other. Enriched or simple, this recipe is best when many flours come together.
1 cup seeds, carriers of the past, seasoning, though not the substance. Seeds of hope, of justice, of community, give each loaf unique flavor, texture, interest, but do not limit the shape of what is to come.
1/4 cup of nuts, use with caution. Some people are allergic, and good bread stays well grounded, but the rich flavor of fresh nuts will add wonder, creativity, possibility, and laughter. Sometimes you need a little nuttiness for the sheer of joy of it.
1½ teaspoons salt, because tears are real, because heartbreak, arguments, grieving, and hurt are real, because forgiveness is real, because without the saltiness of truth, bread becomes weak.
2 tablespoons of brown sugar, sweetness for balance, song and celebration and children's faces, gifts of heart and unexpected blessing.
1/4 cup vegetable oil, wisdom to flow through it all. Strength and flexibility will give the crust a healthy crisp and extend shelf life.
1 1/2 cups of water, the earth, the universe, spirit, life itself.
1/4 ounce active dry yeast. It sounds like so little, but well used, it will grow and expand, giving itself to form the loaf. This bread is leavened with love.
Steps: combine flours together, the character of each enhancing the others.
Add sugar and yeast, the sweet and the holy, to warm waters of life, inviting love to bloom. You can use mine.
Mix in the blended flours, slowly, gently, to form a simple ball of dough.
Add seeds. Promise to the bake. Sprinkle nuts and salt, truth and whimsy, and balance with the oil of wisdom.
Knead by hand, stretching, reshaping, challenging, comforting. Massage until smooth, but do not overwork.
There is an art in knowing when to let go and give it time.
Allow to rise, marvel in the transformation as bread takes form, love lifting all.
Bake in a warm, nurturing oven.
Enjoy with others.
Make it again and again, tweaking proportions, ingredients, and timing as you will. Each loaf a new creation. Yeah, when you are ready.
When you are ready, pass the recipe on. Together with all you have learned, so this bread is always fresh.
Feed one another. Well, I'm a bread baker. I used to bake all the bread our household ate. It's not that hard, but you do have to establish a rhythm. This was before I had a heavy-duty mixer, so I did it by hand. I got good arm muscles stirring this 100% whole wheat dough that made 4 to 5 loaves. I'd start it one day, make a sponge, add flour, and let it rise. Next, rise again in the refrigerator, maybe overnight. Take it out the next day and punch it down, fun part. Maybe I would put it on the counter to rise and then form loaves and let them rise again and bake. Sometimes there were 2 rises in the refrigerator while it waited for me to have time to form loaves and rise and bake. At some point, I lost the rhythm, and I really missed that good bread. It made the best toast, and what it made it really good was the time spent, the long, slow rises. So satisfying to look in the fridge and see it grow as if by magic. Then punch it down and let it rise again. Forming loaves was a little like wrapping a gift, tucking the ends in, putting the seam side down. I'm not good at meditating, too fidgety. I cannot quiet my busy mind by holding still. The labyrinth provides me a quiet physical path to meditation. I have something to do that I can focus my mind on to keep it from jumping all over the place. And bread is like a labyrinth for me, a clear path, something physical. Lately, my bread baking has gotten more experimental. I make rye, brioche, that New York Times no-knead bread, 1-hour rolls. They're tasty too, but my memory of that long, slow rise whole wheat bread lives on. Bread has so many virtues. It is forgiving, nurturing, creative, multicultural. Forgiving in so many ways. Measuring doesn't have to be exact. If you suddenly don't have time to bake it, you can punch it down and bake it tomorrow. Bread nurtures the senses and the body, the smell, the taste, the calories. Some form of bread is found in most cultures. It is flexible about the cooking methods: stovetop, oven, steamed. Bread is a living thing that is part of the place it grows in. The local yeasts find a home in the dough. That is particularly true of sourdough. And when you think about interdependence, you can thinking about bread, you can follow that down so many paths. The number of growers, millers, bakers, and shops that bring you a loaf of bread, it is amazing. Bread has long been a symbol of community. We talk about breaking bread together, that it is the staff of life. But for me, The best part of bread is sharing it. I love the smiles I see when I hear someone say, "Oh, you bought bread." And now we will sing our hymn, number 402. From you I receive. So this is our first ever bread communion that I remember. Lindy may remember one before this. So I'm creating a new ritual, and I'd like those of you who bake bread for our communion to come forward and reunite with your bread. In a moment, we're going to invite you to come up and take a piece or two of bread. We're going to put it back on there. Because you're going to want to take more than one, because you're going to want to try different breads. We'll invite you row by row, and if you prefer not to participate and just observe, that's fine too. And if you need some help getting bread, we'll get some for you. But first, I'd like each of our bakers to introduce themselves and tell us about the bread they brought.
I'm Sally, and I didn't actually make this bread. It was my wife, Kayla, that baked it. She does a lot of baking for our family, and it's vegan and whole wheat.
I'm Mary Martin, and this is egg bread made in my handy dandy bread maker. And it contains eggs, dairy, and wheat.
Hi, I'm Christine. Like you, my husband actually made this bread. It's gluten-free cornbread because unfortunately I can't eat gluten. So.
Hi, I'm Patrick. This is a farmer's bread. It has milk, eggs, nutmeg, and cardamom.
Hi, I'm Kim, and this bread is made from some special wheat from Kansas that a good friend of mine recommended that is delivered in 25-pound bags. And supposedly, if wheat bothers you, just a little bit, this won't bother you. She's a really health guru, my friend, so whatever she buys, I just buy it. And I made it in my bread machine.
Well, I made a bunch of bread. In this basket is that whole wheat bread, Tassajara bread, that has so many rises. And this small basket here is a caraway seed rye bread. That one is vegan, has no eggs or milk. And then I bought two different kinds of gluten-free bread here, and they're marked here. So we will set the baskets near the sign saying what kind of bread it is. And then we're going to start inviting. Mary, you've got a card, good. All right, I'm going to set this down. So we were thinking, I don't know whether to go row by row or section by section. Section, okay, we'll start with this section right here. And if you need help, raise your hand and I'll pick you up a variety of kinds. free to take several. We brought a lot of bread. So, let's see, well, let's just do the middle section. You guys will figure it out. I'll get some in a minute. I may. I will at the end. Thank you. You enjoy. And now this section. And anybody that didn't get covered. let you chew. And after the service, I'm sure we've got some leftovers, so you can come back out and help yourself to seconds. I have a responsive reading, and your part is to say, "Oh, we give thanks." For the energy of the sun and the rain that saturates the land, and all of the minerals and microbes that bring the soil to life so that life can grow. Oh, we give thanks. For the hands that planted the seeds and tended the plants and harvested the crops and processed and transported food so that it could make it to us. Oh, we give thanks. For those who bake the bread that nourishes and sustains us today, and for the gathered community that nourishes us and sustains us through challenging times. Oh, we give thanks. Are we done? Are you ready to sing? Everybody swallowed. Okay. Our last hymn is number 407. We're going to sit at the welcome table. Thank you, Sally. All right, I don't have to tell you to join hands. Here, how about? We give thanks that we have gathered together to make this time and this place sacred. We give thanks for the nourishment we have received at this welcome table. We give thanks for the community that calls us in, for the justice that calls us on, and for the love that holds us always. Go in peace. Be makers of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Hi, how are you?
I should have brought some bed too, because I can